everybody, and welcome to Stardom Review. I am your co-host, Andre, 2/3 Andre C. And right over here, we have our co-host, the wonderful, the ever effervescent Princess Melball. How you doing, Melball?
And I'm doing pretty okay. I'm pretty happy that I managed to throw this together because let me tell you, my energy levels just weren't there. I had an awesome vacation where I got to organize stuff for Astrid, and then I immediately got a tattoo. And then immediately after that, went on my own vacation, which, if you know, with my parents, is not really a vacation. It's just a number of days of organized hikes.
Looks like lots of drinking. You're drinking.
We did drink a lot of Prosecco in the evening. It was glorious.
There you go. Prosecco.
Prosecco. I did drive home today though, and I didn't stop driving home. So
you're still
the girl's
driving
a little tired. What?
You said you didn't stop, so you're still driving home?
Yeah, in my mind, I feel like I am. I didn't stop. I just came right home. I'm tired.
I get that.
How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Good day at work. Work's actually been my job is they're giving me more responsibilities. They're putting me on the forklift and I'm picking orders. So I'm happy. It's nice to do some. Again, I used to drive forklift at my old job and pick orders, stuff like that. Just the new job, they had a bunch of people. And again, I'm just being slotted into other positions, which I'm really enjoying. So the days seem to go by a lot faster when you get new things to do at your job.
Of course, of course. And when you're a little happier doing those tasks than the other ones, sure, it helps.
I'm happy doing my old tasks.
That's good.
Yeah, that's not been doing the other tasks, but it's just nice to change it up. So it's been a good week. Had watched some incredible professional wrestling this week. We watched a Stardom. I watched a couple matches from the Blue Justice event from New Japan. Watched a couple matches from Marigold this past Monday. So
I was actually just watching Nova before coming on here.
There you go. See?
We're expanding our horizons.
I'm just sticking within the three companies.
This Daga guy. I was just watching a match with him on Noah, and when I tell you, I'm like, whew, why haven't I heard of this guy before? He is good.
Yeah, Mr. Xena.
Clearly, based on what I just saw, very much an influence into her current style, we'll say transition.
Not on the show we're about to talk about. She was.
Yeah, well,
but
when we say that she is a Swiss Army knife of wrestling, maybe.
Yeah, but in the match she was in, we'll talk about that. So before we do that, before we start talking some Stardom Nagoya Golden Fight, we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to us, whether it's Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, whether it's Backbreaker Video, or it's on A+ Productions in audio form. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in, listening to us. We really appreciate it. We just love talking professional wrestling, and we love talking about it for you guys. So if you are listening on A+ Production, thank you so very much. And if you do want to check us out in audio form, aplusproductions.com, or you can hit up the sports feed, the entertainment feed, or where you can find us over on the A+ Wrestling feed, or you can join the group over at A+ Productions on Facebook. Check us out over there. Lots of good chat going on in there. I slammed the Oilers in that chat the other day. And I'm from and I live in the area, and I slammed the Oilers in there because I'm just not an Oilers fan.
Sorry, Jason. I was gonna say, for the sake of our friendship, I love you, Jason.
And then thank you to all y'all watching on the YouTube, whether it's a Backbreaker Video or Andre Melball Talk. Thank you so very much for all the great support. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below, because that's where we really want to hear from you. On the YouTube side, hit the comments, whether it's Backbreaker or on Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. Talk to us. We want to hear what you loved about the shows we're talking about, and what other wrestling you're watching in the world. We love to talk about it. So just let us know there. Please share us out to your friends, family, and people that like to wear hockey masks. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Ding dong.
Dun dun dun. Hello.
Should have done the like chi chi.
I really should have. Didn't even
Really
think.
opportunity. You know what? We can try again. We'll do it at the end of the show. Get us.
I won't remember at that point. I'll probably
Hopefully,
have it.
both of our ADHD doesn't fail us at this point,
I'll have a whole new thing come at the end. I guarantee you it.
based on whatever debauchery we talk about. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I did not load up the slides. There we go. Boom. Yeah, there it is. I'm gonna bring us back to our normal slides. We're here talking about Stardom Nagoya Golden Fight from October 5th. It was about a week ago now, almost a week ago, as this comes out on Friday. Incredible show. I was very much looking forward to it. Four title matches on this show. Just heck of a card. It did kick off with on the pre-show that neither myself or Mel watched because we both forgot about it. It was a pre-show 5-way high-speed title contendership battle royal that Yuna Mizumori won. So we're getting Yuna Mizumori versus Mei Sarah for the high-speed title.
Both of us were wrong on that. I think didn't we call Kaguma? Oh, I'm happy to be wrong about that.
I think you had said you wanted and you thought Koguma was going to, or you said you wanted Rana to win, but you thought Koguma was going to win. I said I wanted Momo Koga to win, but I thought Koguma was going to get the win. I think we were both in the Koguma train that we not who we wanted, but who we thought. But yeah, Yuna Mizumori getting a title shot.
That is a pleasant surprise. Yes, I managed to not be spoiled by the results of any of this still to this very moment. I have been very selective with my social media usage in the last week.
Yeah, there you go. It's honestly, the only match I got spoiled for me on this show is the IWGP Women's Championship, and that's just because I was surfing through Mina Shirakawa's Twitter page, and she shared some stuff. So, yeah, it screwed me up.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I managed to stay off of the X thing for a while.
Yeah. So that's my only one. So
not since you made me go frickin' viral on there, sir. Rude.
You're welcome. So we actually had English commentary on this show, which I think I heard. No, I didn't. I watched the last 3 matches with Japanese commentary because we did purchase the pay-per-view version in English commentary, and we found out Tuesday it was off the service, and so I had to go watch the last 3 matches in Japanese because it didn't drop on Stardom World till Wednesday evening, and I just wanted to get everything watched on Tuesday. So we had New Japan's Walker Stewart and guy who works backstage for Stardom and actually works. I can't remember. He's Tom Fain. He also has his own site reporting on professional wrestling too. He works backstage for the English side of Stardom. And Walker Stewart on the call, and I really thought these two gelled really well together and did a really good job.
I agree. This was their first time kind of calling together too, wasn't it?
As far as I know, yeah. As far as I know.
It didn't come off like that at all. It just kind of came off as 2 very professional friends sitting there and talking about professional wrestling, especially in the last couple of matches where they added Ms. Waka to the commentary crew. It was a very interesting and fun little bit of banter back and forth between the two, and then subsequently 3 of them.
Oh, there you go. So we're gonna jump in. We're gonna jump into the main card, kicking it off with the future of Stardom Championship. It is Rina versus Miyu Amasaki, and we found out a great little note during Miyu's entrance. Walker Stewart and Miyu Amasaki have the same birthday in the same year. They're both 22 years old. Yeah. Yeah.
Not interesting.
Yeah.
It's so weird to find someone like that, though, right? And it's very rare in your lifespan that you do find someone like that.
Yeah.
But mind you, I managed to find one in Mrs. Money Munson.
There you go.
Yeah. Crazy.
My great aunt had the same birthday as me. That's the only one I know.
I don't think she was born the same year, though.
No. Many years before. Actually, my coworker has the same
Anywho,
birthday as me, but he's like 50 something, almost 60. So yeah.
take us into the
Yeah,
match, sir.
I thought really good match. I thought these two really flowed well together. Miyu coming like Rina tossing her around early on by the hair, really getting the advantage, beating her up. Miyu fighting back with these really good forearms to the chest, but Rina hits that really good looking boot. There's a great X Factor coming out of the corner by Miyu because she like hop up in the second, like jumped out, like spinning out into the X Factor. Looked really good. Kind of almost if you look at the look, I haven't seen Z Factor ish, but off the second, like swinging around like Zoe Sager does, the Z Factor. Yeah, I really like that. Mia at one point gets a huge running back elbow to drop Rina for 2. Then she gets a Rings of Saturn, but Rina fights her way to the ropes. That Rings of Saturn looks really good the way she does it, like because she's laying back in it. It's almost like she's laying. It almost looks like Rina's pinning her, but her arms are being torqued backwards. I really like that, and the head's being pulled on. Yeah. Rina reverses that the tensei, which is that sit out pedigree that she does, into a really nice octopus hold. But Mia fights and fights. She eventually gets the foot on the bottom rope. Really good back and forth out with these two. Mia goes for the tensei again, but Rina kicks out and she hits it, but Rina kicks out at that last like 2.999. She does hit a hammer. She hits a supla. DDT's Rina off the top when they were fighting up top, and she hits a hammerlock DDT. But Rina again kicks out at 2.999. The finish comes. Rina gets the backslide into a jackknife cover for 2. Then hits that modified crucifix driver, but she only gets 2 again. Miyu comes back with that pendulum DDT, then does a cradle spike DDT, and then follows it up, hitting tensei, which is a sit out pedigree. And we have a new Future of Stardom champion. Yeah.
Let me tell you, she earned it in this match. I've been humming and hawing on Miyu still. But man, the immense progress and improvement she has made just over the last month has been just insane. I love this match. This was so good. It was so fast paced. They flowed effortlessly together. It was so good. And there was so much that Miyu clearly studied from Rina that she had an answer for. There were so many reversals in this from Miyu that we don't typically see out of her in matches that go this long. Like usually her time in there, she spent doing the moves and not reversing the moves being done on her. So this was a really, really impressive match for me, specifically for Miyu. Yeah, that's all I kind of got to add to that. You kind of got everything I said. Her DDTs were freaking killer in this one.
They were. So post match, Amasaki says, Rina, what is this belt? It's so heavy. I can't believe I've had to wear this heavy belt for so long. And 13 times two. This makes no sense to me. I'm going to make it even heavy. Oh, I can't imagine. But for now, I'm going to make it even heavier because she's talking about the P. It's just the wording. She would translate. I can't believe people have had to hold this heavy belt for so long. 13 different people, too. And Rina says, I'm really frustrated. That belt suits you so well, but I won't let you run away with the victory. So even if it's not for that belt, you should definitely let me have a singles match again. Amasaki then it follows up with, I debuted as Stardom Supernova, and I have worked hard to get this belt, and I think I've fulfilled my role as a Supernova. I will continue to grow together with this belt.
So happy. So happy. It sucks to see Rina step away from the future title belt, but I feel this is also a positive thing because this, to me, is a graduation for Rina. I expect to see the next title that she go after being not the future.
Yeah.
Like I actually expect to see her potentially going after the Artist of Stardom Championship. So I would like to see Hate do that since singles gold doesn't seem to be feasible for them at the moment at this point in the show.
Yeah, and she still has that New Blood tag title that she holds with
Ah,
Naba. So there's still that for her too. But again, the New Blood
hmm.
tag titles are really only, I think they've only maybe been once or twice been contested outside of the New Blood shows. Maybe once or twice. I can't remember. It's been very few
I
and far
know
between
once
if they
for
have.
certain. I'm not sure on the second.
Yeah, once, maybe twice. I know they did once, but like maybe twice. They've had that
Mm.
title switch. But yeah. So we move on to another match on this show. It is Saya Kamitani versus Sayaka Kurara.
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 Kurara getting that upset victory just a couple weeks ago against Saya Kamitani in the multi-woman tag match that they had. So
Mhm.
it's a revenge match for Saya Kamitani, and oh boy, did she get some serious revenge in this match because she kicked the shit out of Kurara, man. Oh, dude,
Mhm.
she like the kicks she landed in, man, took her to the outside, whipping her into the chair. She was just going off on this little girl.
She got the hate haze welcoming, is what I
Mm-hmm.
felt like. I think that's an appropriate terminology for that.
Yeah, so Kamitani hitting some of her greatest hits at springboard across those shotgun drop kicks that she does are just so good. Yeah, those
Yeah. They were stiff, this one too. She was pulling her in really close for those and then just fully extending her into the corner. It was mental.
Yeah, some of those spin kicks that she was hit were just lethal. But Kurara did get some good offense here. She ducked a spin kick at one point to get a sleeper on on
Mhm.
Kamitani, and really fights to keep her at center. But Kamitani fighting and getting using those long limbs to get to the ropes. Um,
Mhm.
there was a great spot. Kurara hits a beautiful looking acid drop at one point, so that where she gets the cutter right in
Mhm.
the corner. Look, I was like, oh yeah, and I think, and then Kurara actually just before that hit a small package off of a Star Crusher attempt, and she ended up getting a spear also in
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
Her
looked really
spears
good.
are really, really good because she can just land and pounce right into it just like that. That's one thing that she's very, very quick at.
There's it's very much reminiscent of the of Kota Ibushi's Kamigoye, but Kamitani does it with just a straight boot. She has both feet, both hands, and she just boots somebody in the head as she pulls them in. That just looks
Yeah.
rough.
So
Um,
mean.
the end of this match though comes. Kurara's unloading forearms on Kamitani, but Kamitani comes back with a huge pump kick, then another. She only gets one, and then Kurara gets her into that roll arounding pin thing, but she can't
Mhm.
get the win there. Kamatani hits this another huge pump kick, hits a roundhouse kick to the head, then that tornado kick, like the jumping in the air and spinning around tornado. Or if you're a North American fan, Hiroshida's katana move, where she comes down kicking the person down on the mat. You sent me a video of somebody doing it at GCW doing the same move.
I don't even know who it was, but it was insane. Definitely knocked the poor kid out.
Yo, dude, that was sick. But yeah, she hits that tornado kick to Kurara, who's down, and she follows up with a Star Crusher, which is a fisherman driver, for the win. Again, I thought Kurara looked super strong in her comebacks, but Kamatani looked insanely dominant throughout.
I'd say almost feral. She was just bent on vengeance against poor Kurara. And holy hot diggity. She got it. I don't have a whole lot to add to that. I kind of jumped in where I could because I didn't take a whole lot of notes in this because I was just pretty much just sitting there going, oh, 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 oh. This was so rough. Poor Kurara. Again, the hate hazing. And I don't feel that this was the first. Well, this was the first time it happened. No, I would say Rina tried it on
Mm,
Miyu. It was just not as successful.
yeah,
Um, this was the second hazing of the night, and it was more successful in Hate's favor. More hazing throughout the night. It was crazy.
it was a
But this was a
I
phenomenal
was gonna say it's a
hate
hate
hazing.
thing. No, it's a hate zing.
That just sounds German, though.
It's a
It's a
hate zing.
hazing. It's just a hazing. No,
Uh,
hate hazing.
I tried.
Um, yeah, This was a really, really great match. It was a really, really good show off for Kurara. Yes, she got her butt beat a lot of this, but again, as you said, her comebacks were very solid. And Kamitani is a phenomenal person to wrestle in the fact that she gives as much to her opponent as she takes for herself.
Yeah. So from a really great match from a young competitor and an absolute superstar veteran to my favorite team in Empress Nexus Venus, the entirety of Empress Nexus Venus, going up against the evil alliance of Hate, Konami, Momo Watanabe, Natsuko, Tora, and Ruaka, teaming up with Zap and the person I just finished the first episode of Queen of Villains. It's a really good series. But I don't want to see Dump Matsumoto in 2024. Holy balls. I'm not even going through this match. This match sucked. Like, I got to pull it up. I have the rating. So on Cage Match, out of 21 votes, people voting their level of what they thought of the show, 1.73 out of 10 for this match.
Yikes.
Like, I gotta like watching the show, and it's like one of those like fictionalized versions of history, with like some biopics they do. Like, it's not everything happened the way it all says, but it follows the point of their life. Just after watching the first episode of Queen of Villains, I have a lot of more respect. I still respect Dump Matsumoto for everything she did in her past, and I have more respect for her just watching and learning some of the history of her family and the shitty life that she came from. But I still don't want to watch her in 2024. Oh my god.
Did you take any notes on this one, my
I
friend?
took a lot of notes, and I just decided I'm not. It is Hate beating the shit out of EXV. Dump Matsumoto just keeps cracking everybody with a kendo stick. Everybody just hitting people with weapons, and EXV keeps trying to save people. Mina took a beating throughout the majority of the match, and then Waka gets tagged in, even though why was EXV tagging when none of the Evil Alliance was tagging? They were all just in the ring doing whatever the hell they wanted.
There was one point where there was some semblance of organization, but at no point in time, this is very importante because we said this was going to happen. At no point in time, once Dump got in the ring, did she fracking leave it. Because she couldn't. And Zap just sat there with her. And it was...
Look, the entrances were the best part of this show. Because I loved EXV all coming out the 6 of them on the stage, and then they all came down in pairs. You had Maika coming down with Mina, then you had Waka and Xena came down together, and then HANAKO and Rina came down together. It was just a nice little flow. And then even Heath's entrance was great, and then Dump and Zap coming out, and then they walked down to the ring, and everybody's at the ring, and Dump is barely off the ramp part. Like, she is walking so slow. Because, again, bad knees, bad back. I understand. I'm not slamming her for the physicality she's taking. But, again, if you're this worn down, why are you doing this? Like,
take the man, be at ringside by all means. Hit people with the kendo stick by all means when they're outside the ring. Be a manager. Be a Heyman girl. Yell at people, swear at people. But, like, why did the ring announcer need to be caned?
Dude, she on her way to the ring, she smacked Walker in Tom's desk. Then she went over to Japanese commentary and smacked the dude on the head with the kendo stick. The commentary
bonked Walker and he stood up.
No,
he'd be the one person who dwarfed her.
She just missed Walker. Like, she slapped the table right beside Walker, and Tom's like, "What did you do to her? What did you do?" It's what Tom is yelling at Walker, and it was genius.
Which is hilarious because at that point, Walker was the only one talking positively about her. Tom was talking about how terrified of her he was.
Oh, again, it was insane. And then she walked over to Japanese and just bonked the dude on the head with the kendo stick. I was just, and then just this match was absolute shit. Like Mina and Waka trying to do everything they could with
and poor
members of
Rhea. Rihanna at the beginning there also got sacrificed to Dump, and she kind of got a bit of a pinata beating for a bit there, poor thing.
Yeah, like dude, it was this whole thing was just shit. At the end of the match, Waka does try to get a comeback, starts going after everybody, but then she just gets kendoed down, and I think she got kendoed by Zap here, and then Dump comes over and starts kendoing her more. They all smack her around, and then Waka hits her with the metal garbage can. So does Dump, and Tora hits a Death Valley bomb for the win. And then they beat the shit out of EXV more after the match. And then Natsuko Tora gets the mic and goes, hey, you guys, are you watching, in direct translations at Evil Queen, but Queen of Villains, Dump and Zap, Nagoya is a waste. On October 27th at Korakuen Hall, we will go on a rampage again with this evil alliance. Until then, you guys, sleep in fear. So we're getting Evil Alliance again on the 27th. Shit.
The marketer in me wants to say this is brilliant because it is, but the fan in me says, again, stay on the outside, cane people on the outside, yell orders at Hate and Zap, and there's a third person who came along with them once, wasn't there?
Yeah, I just don't remember who they are. That was
bring that back. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
This because yeah, at the beginning they barely even they hadn't even gotten to the ring and started the match, and they were yeeting people into the chairs, and then they sacrificed Brienne, who got again mercilessly beaten by Dump for quite some time. And then Mina got sacrificed, and it was just move after move after move after move after move after move. It was crazy. There was a camel clutch drop kick that Konami and Momo did on Mina, which, despite it was on Mina, it looks really, really good. And especially with Konami being the one kicking, it's so brutal. There was the spinning backfish though that Mina hit on Momo that would just landed so perfectly, so solidly, and Momo dropped like a sack of potatoes. It was really, really good. I did love that when Xena and HANAKO were actually able to get into the ring, that they were able to obliterate Momo, Ruaka, and Konami, doing that little run back and forth through the corners. I don't know what to call it because they were just kind of running and maybe the lariat, clothesline. I don't know. The arms were out. There was bodies colliding. It was glorious, glorious chaos. That was when I noticed that Zap and Dump during this time while HANAKO and Xena were beating the crap out of those three, that Zap and Dump were just standing in the corner, like watching it all unfold. And I was like, are we taking a breather? Like, that's your team. You could do some assistance. I don't know. I have a few questions. Well, okay, I have a few questions and an interesting point. So let's start with the interesting point. Ruaka was one we didn't really talk about too much because her presence wasn't really felt too much in this match. She was pretty much on the outside, running patrol around the ring and keeping everybody kind of down. I noticed in the last time that Dump was a part of this little evil alliance, and I've noticed it this time. Ruaka seems very uncomfortable around Dump. Have you noticed that? When she gets closer to her, she's kind of like, as she tries to physically
Dump
keep
is
her
insane and she just hits everybody. That's why.
well, I mean, granted, she didn't assist her team too much in this one, but she also wasn't beating on her teammates either, because they were very clearly marked. All of Hate is in black. All of Empress Nexus Venus are in bright colors. It's very obvious which pinata to whack. I noticed it last time as well, though, that when Tora and Ruaka were in the ring with Dump, in particular, Ruaka was always physically trying to keep away from her, and just she seems very uncomfortable around her. She might be a hesitant worker with her. I don't know. Might
I,
be a reputation thing. Maybe she's not so nice to the young girls.
again, as I'm watching Queen of Villains and learning more and more about Dump, she not like she went went into business for herself on stuff, but there was points in her history where shit got kind of nuts, and people started hitting each other for real in stuff that she did. And this is also from podcasts I've been listening to talking about her. Again, it's been a topic for wrestling fans with the show out. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Maybe she's just worried because, again, there's history of her kind of being crazy in rings, and Ruaka's just worried she's
Mm,
gonna get hit. It could be that, or it could just be maybe she's just playing it up as a character
mm.
wise, that just to show her character is fearful of Dump. I don't know. I don't know why anybody fears this woman. Kick her in the knee, she falls down. Kick her in the head, she's done. That would be all you need.
Assault the elderly. That's all we need. Okay. My first question is, why did Waka take the pin? I thought we were past this, Okada, of the non-Kazuchika kind. What the flying fruit cake of a fa la la and powdered sugar on Santa Claus's asshole was that?
The only answer I have to that is Waka took the pin last time at that Halloween show last
Okay.
year with Waka and Mina versus Dump and whoever the hell she was partnered with. I think it was Zap. Um,
You have
I know,
the
but again,
obvious young person in Rihanna.
oh, I am very much aware of that. I was thinking exactly the same thing. But I'm just saying, if maybe they playing to the history that Waka got beat last time, she got beat this time. I don't know.
Fuck your
I hate,
history.
I hated this match. I
Fuck your
hated.
history. Because, like, yeah, there most of Empress Nexus Venus was not prevalent in this match unless they were getting their asses kicked. Like, Maika came in a couple times and got some shoulder blocks in, but was quickly thrown out by either Tora or Momo, who were also kind of running. Momo was another one who was very rarely in this one because she was busy running interference on the outside. It was very much almost like a oddly chaotic football game where people just kind of had their jobs and they just kept doing it, and it turned out to, like, I didn't enjoy this too much. My second question was kind of like similar to the statement you made earlier. Is like, I get with her show being out and the series needing some kind of marketing and some kind of, push to the media. This is a good way to market her and market the show, because like immediately before this there was an advertisement for the show.
Hmm?
A question again is, why does she need to be physically in the ring now? She can do just as much damage and wreak just as much havoc on the outside of the ring without actively being a part of the in-ring action, because then she can be running interference and hitting people off the apron with the kendo stick. I'd be annoyed about it, but I'd accept it a lot more.
Could she really run though?
Well, like, it
I
wouldn't
have to
be
admit,
happening in the first 10 minutes of the match, that's for sure.
no, but again, yeah, why couldn't it have been a 5-on-5? You could have Zap in there as Dump's
100%.
representative. Zap can move. Zap can wrestle, and just maybe put Rihanna on
Yeah,
the outside, or put one of the girls as just a second for the team, and you can still get them
100%.
involved and smack them around if you want to. You're gonna pin walk anyway, so
Ah,
Rihanna could have been on the outside, getting whacked in the head as an outsider. Like again, and I don't want to see it
yeah.
again, but we're going to. I'm gonna move on. We're moving on from this because I'm just
Okay.
done talking about this. I'm
Oh,
gonna bring us
oh,
back.
what we have to talk about, what the
Oh,
announcement that
oh,
happened, or the
that's why I
things that
brought us
happened in
this.
between there.
That's why I brought us to this screen. So we're going to talk
Okay,
about these
okay,
because I don't have a graphic for them. They announced
okay.
the Goddess Tag League starts on October 26th. So yay,
Mm,
more tournaments. You have historic crossover on November 17th. which is actually one of my friend's birthdays. And then Dream Queendom on December 29th.
Mhm.
And then this is where they announced the match of Zack Sabre Jr. and Starlight Kid versus, or no, that's El Desperado and Starlight Kid. I wrote ZSJ twice. I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
I just wanted ZSJ versus ZSJ. That would be a great match. So it is El Desperado and Starlight Kid versus Maika and Zack Sabre Jr. on the historic crossover show. I can't wait. This is going to be awesome.
I'm curious to see what like they come up with because Zack Sabre Jr. is very creative. Always likes to come up with like little team names and stuff. You know, we saw Dangerous Techers with him and Tai Chi. I'm curious to see if he comes up with a name for him and Micah. And if he does, what would it be? What do you think it would be?
And will she come out wearing orange?
Oh, she has to.
I hope. I
She
so hope she wears
has
orange.
to.
Oh
I
God, I love
hope that
her.
she wears her regular like gear and now with the fox and everything, and that it is more orange
Yes, me
and
too.
instead of red. But what do you think you would call it?
Oh, I don't know.
Right?
What is Micah called now?
She's still the Empress.
I don't know. Technical Empress. I don't know. I don't know.
Hey, it worked.
I
Because like
don't.
last time we had the Battle of the Samurais versus the Aces.
Yeah, I'm
I can't
honest.
remember if him and Julia had a name for the
I
last
don't.
match they
I
had.
don't. I don't think so.
Hmm.
Yeah. But
I'm
then,
excited for this though.
another big announcement comes in the form of a person coming out to the ring. And it's a person from New Japan. It's the Great Khan rolling out with holding his King of Pro Wrestling Championship. It's KOPW title. Let's go Empire right here. Boom. Right there.
That made me look like I have all forehead.
So he gets the mic and says, "Bow down to me. Bow down before me, you fools of Stardom. Tonight I have come to bestow upon you the greatest opportunity of my professional wrestling career. On November 17th, there will be a crossover show at Edion Arena, Osaka, where I will fight the women of Stardom for the KOPW." Interesting. This KOPW is the freest belt in the world. Men and women can fight for the belt. Rules are also free. For example, only women can use weapons. I distinctly remember men using weapons before, but I think in the men versus women part is what he's saying. Only women can use weapons. I mean, he can't use a weapon on a woman, which I'm okay with. Women can form multiple tag teams. So this could be like a 4-on-1 match, 18-on-1 match. It could be the entire Stardom roster versus the Great Khan here.
So
Hey,
that being said,
I got a little more. Hey, no matter what rules they use, there's no way I will lose to a mere woman. But still, anyone who wants to leave their name in history should step up. But you will experience the greatest pain and humiliation of your professional wrestling career. Wow, that was a misogynistic promo. But again, I don't believe that is Great Khan's actual thoughts. I think it's just he's playing this douche-headed character here, and I look forward to whatever he faces on this show.
so that being said, as I was gonna say, who do you think would be an intelligent person to put in that position? I have a few. I was gonna say I have 5 choices that I wrote down.
Ooh, let's hear him.
One of them was Suzu Suzuki because obviously deathmatch specialist. She'd have no problem taking on the Great Khan. She's taking on Jun Kasai. She's taking on the boogeyman. The Great Khan is not going to be a problem.
Not at all.
Another person I picked that I thought would be a really excellent choice was Stardom part-timer and former bestie of Suzu Suzuki, Risa Sera. Again, she carries around that kendo stick. She'd be having her own weapon in tow.
One night reunion of prominence. Risa Sera, Suzuki, and Hiragi Kurumi all teaming up to face the Great Khan in a 3-on-1 tag match.
Oh my God. Do you know how amazing that would be? I would freaking love that. I would absolutely love that. Because, like, Could you imagine Hiragi doing a cannonball on the Great Okan?
Oh,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Number 3, and that's Tora.
Mm.
I mean, obviously, could also bring along any member or combination of hate. Konami would have no problem going toe to toe. Momo would probably have no problem going toe to toe. The combination of all 3 of them, that's a dangerous combo. Number 4, Shuri. She might be tiny, but she is mighty. That woman is solid.
Well, an expert martial artist in the Great Okan taking on a former MMA and martial artist in her own right in Surrey would be an incredible match.
And then maybe not Saki, but having any other member of God's Eye in there could be beneficial for her. I wouldn't maybe put Lady C in there though. She's a little fragile right now with her back.
Yeah, leave her.
But my number 5 choice, and that was based off of later events, Hazuki.
Oh, with her new attitude, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe a combination of stars. Could you imagine Kaguma doing her little stompy stompies on
Oh, that'd be so good.
or walking around before the ring, Kaguma, 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 and Kokan's just sitting there like,
And he starts going, oh, Khan, oh, Khan, oh, Khan. That'd be hilarious.
or just
Oh my god, dude! I cannot wait to see what this match is. And I'm hoping it's one of those ones where we don't actually get it announced. It's just the Great Okan. It's a Great Okan Open challenge, and we find out his opponent that night. Because if you really wanted to, you could put this at a certain point of the show. If you're still going to have them work another match, you could still do it. Like it really could. It'd be insanely interesting to me.
I agree. If done properly. Okada of the non-Kazuchika kind.
Yes.
Do not fuck this up.
Yeah. So moving on, we go back to the show, and it's Hazuki taking on Starlight Kid. This match was so good. Starlight Kid just attacks her before the bell with a drop kick. They start brawling to the floor. They're brawling all over the floor. They're whipping each other into the chairs, tossing each other around by the hair. Dude, it's getting nuts. Like these two are just smacking every. Starlight Kid does the face wash and running boot to Hazuki back in the ring at one point. She dragon screws the knee out of the ropes. Like just crazy stuff. Hazuki does fight back and gets her face wash and running boot to Starlight Kid. These two are just beating the ever-living piss out of each other. Working the submissions throughout the match with the crossface for Hazuki and that stretch muffler for Starlight Kid. It's like I found in this match early on, Starlight Kid really seemed like the one that was working heel. Like she seemed to be working very heelish early on. You know what I mean? Like it just.
I felt both of them were, but I see what you're getting there. The attitude was definitely not what we are used to with her joining Neo Genesis.
So, and even Tom was even making comments about it that you're maybe seeing a little bit of old Starlight Kid coming out here. But then Hazuki, right after I wrote that, Hazuki gets her in the ropes, she DDTs her on the apron, and this is where she starts ripping at the masked Starlight Kid. And this is where I'm like, oh, Hazuki's going heel now. And the crowd is booing, and she literally, it's a complete shift in this match. Hazuki is now just rocking skull to skull headbutts. She's doing everything like evil that she can possibly do. Starlight Kid gets they're fighting. Starlight Kid dodges a pump kick at one point. Gets that sliced bread number 2. She gets another dragon screw. She gets a stretch muffler into the Black Tiger leg killer. Which is where she pulls back on the arm while in the stretch muffler. But Hazuki does get a hand on the ropes. Again, they keep going back and forth. Starlight Kid gets a spinning frog splash for 2. She goes back up, goes for the moonsault. But Hazuki getting the knees up and gets a 2. Fighting back and forth. They end up going back to the floor. They don't have the floor yet. They're going back and forth. The big suplex is reversed to a big German by Hazuki. She falls with this pump kick, and then just pump kicking each other. The suplex gets her first, and then it's crazy. And then Starlight Kid just gets a victory roll out of nowhere, and she picks up the win. And you're like, oh, okay. And Hazuki's having none of this, and she just goes after Starlight Kid. They fight out to the floor. Hazuki hits her with a headbutt, rolls Starlight Kid in, and she gets scissors. And I'm like, no, please don't cut her. I'm thinking blood at this point. I'm like, you don't do this. Do not.
Well, I knew exactly what she was going for. They don't do that here.
Yeah, I was very scared because Natsuko Tora is crazy and she does crazy things. So I was scared that Hazuki got influenced, but then she goes and starts cutting the mask of Starlight Kid and yanks it off her head, and she just like immediately covers up because pulling the mask off a masked wrestler is, unless you're El Desperado, is very sacred. Despy's wrestled with his face out multiple times with his brass ripped off. And yeah, she hit the vertical, or actually before she cut the mask off, she hit a vertical drop brainbuster, and she cut the mask off and takes it. She's holding it in the air like a trophy. It just, it was just evil.
Yeah, we actually saw Miyu Amasaki hop in there really quick and actually pull off her shirt to cover up Starlight Kid's face.
Yeah.
Luckily that her hair is very long. So when the mask was removed, she was able to cover up and use the hair to kind of hide herself pretty easily. But yeah, I don't have it like you mentioned pretty much everything that I had also written down. Except for like the mask like the attack and mask removal of Hazuki afterwards was definitely uncalled for. Um, and something that I mean, I've been speaking to it for the last number of months when it's come to stars. Are we witnessing a downward darkness spiral of this faction? Because again, we have one very clear cut heel faction in this company in hate. Everybody else is pretty facey-tasty. Stars is starting to look a little dark with the attitude of Hazuki, with the attitude of Mayu Iwatani. You know, both these women are starting to get to a savage level, but we also saw some confusion of the other stars members in Hazuki's attitude, where Kaguma was even standing there like, what are you doing outside afterwards? So maybe stars are not all on the same page with this little downward spiral because Momo's still wrestling pretty facey. We haven't seen any heel tendencies out of her yet. And Ida is also still wrestling pretty straight and narrow. But Hanan also starting to go down that path with Mayu and Hazuki. Could we be seeing a fracture? What do you think, Andre?
Yeah, I could see it because, like, even in the, like, I didn't see it as much from Hanan and Mayu tonight because I think it was so overblown with Hazuki. I didn't see
Agreed.
it much tonight, but
Yeah.
we've seen it in the past. Of those two have gotten pretty like mean about things, and Hazuki just
Mm-hmm.
going off the rail again. They've been telling a really great story with Hazuki, with her coming out in the hoodie and just being all depressed and down, and this is
Mm-hmm.
like this is snapping, right? Finally getting to a point in snapping because, like, they were talking about it on commentary. She really needs this win here. She really needs to get back on track, and her losing made her finally snap. And this is that double crazy that we. This is the crazy out of the Fukuoka double crazy that we get.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing it, and yeah, it's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. I'm very curious to see where they take her with this. Again, Okada, the non-Kazuchika kind. Don't fuck this up. This could be really, really good if done properly and if told properly. We could see a really amazing feud where we solidify Starlight Kid as a top face again and we solidify Hazuki as maybe a top heel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Kid does get the mic afterwards. He says, "Wait a minute. Even though I look like this, I can't just back down like this. Hazuki, she's a dangerous girl, but isn't this the real Hazuki? Because Hazuki is a former member of Oedo Tai before
Mm-hmm.
she left for her. She took a retirement there for like a year, so she was a
Mm-hmm.
member of Oedo Tai. So she has some darkness in her. I can't see straight ahead. Sorry, but I hope you find a good opponent to have this kind of match with, which I don't understand. Well, it doesn't change the fact that I hate you. But the only one who won today is Starlight Kid. There's no exaggeration to say that I am mentally ready to take on the Wonder in earnest. I'd like to aim for it from here, so please support Starlight Kid, everyone. I'm sorry I'm like this because she has this towel over her head while she's talking. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Not
yeah. We'll
much to
see.
say on that one now, so we'll just kind of we'll have to wait and see how it goes.
Yeah. So we move over to a four-way tag match, which is kind of it's I don't even think it's for a shot. It's not even for a shot at the titles, but yeah, uh, maybe. But it's odd teams except for one or two of the teams are
Mhm.
normalish teams. The other two teams are very odd because you have Stars
Mhm.
Hanan and Sayaka. They are team. They are a team. They were New Blood champions together. Then you have Aya
Mhm.
Sakura and Soriano. Odd pairing from Cosmic Angels. You have Lady
Mhm.
C and Suri, which is an odd pairing from God's Eye, but Suri doesn't really have an established partner over there. I guess Sasaki is, but I guess she has Saki, but Saki wasn't on the show for some weird ass reason. And then you have Neo Genesis's Azumi, and the ultimate shooting star, May Sarah. I saw that on her graphic. She's the ultimate shooting star.
I didn't realize Saki wasn't on the show. I didn't notice she was missing.
Yeah, me either. Until right now, I didn't realize it. I'm like, oh yeah, it didn't bother me.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I didn't really notice either.
Yeah, so I need to talk
Um.
about Aya Sakura's gear here. It looked great.
Oh
I
yeah,
really, it really suits her.
I agree. I agree. It's the best gear she's had so far, and it matches the kind of aesthetic as Cosmic Angels. Whereas before, it kind of was like an odd little schoolgirl, and with these other kind of sparkling. Even Kurara's gear matched a lot better.
Mm.
Like her old gear matched a lot better than Ayasakura's. But yeah, no, the new gear is really, really good.
And then, okay, have I just not noticed? Has Lady C been wrestling with chaps for this long while? Because like
She
I
has, yeah.
didn't notice them until today.
No, she has. That's her new gear. Yeah. Aren't they cool though?
I liked them. I never noticed it. That's the brutal part.
It's okay.
Yeah, so we get another match. It's an 8-way suplex at one point, and Suri has to get out of it and starts kicking all of her opponents in the bum so that Lady C, May Sarah, and Azumi can make the suplex on the other four.
I mean, brilliant because you got the team of the smaller people, and then Lady C
Mm-hmm.
taking on the rest of the members in the match.
Suri
They
kicking them.
kind of needed the little boost,
Yeah,
little kick in the butt, if you will.
C gets that big swing on May Sarah.
Hmm.
Is double chopping everybody. She's on such a roll. She ends up double chopping Hanan. I was like,
Yeah, that
oh,
was funny. And that's where Hanan's heel turn started.
yeah, Hanan was not happy that Ida and C are just trading chops at one point, and Azumi coming in with drop kicks, taking them out. And really good,
Hmm.
like a lot of great technical royal round between Anu and Azumi. It looked really good. Uh,
Hmm.
there's a Tower of Doom spot with C powerbombing Ida, who is double suplexing Azumi and Serianu off the top. Yeah, just a lot to create. Just everybody just coming in and out, attacking, in and out, attacking. The end of this, C hits a flapjack to Aya Sakura, and Suri hits that running knee to the head. She gets to, she follows it up, picking her up, Emerald Flosion for the win.
Hmm. Hmm. I also there was what just to add. You pretty much said everything I did except for one thing, so that's good. There was that one little point where Sakurai and Suri were in there, and they were just showing off their martial arts skills back and forth. It was a fun little point in the match because it was completely different from the rest of the wrestling that was happening in there, and just letting them have that little show off, especially with Aya's kicks. Holy man, are her high kicks just they're so pretty. Like they look so nice. Um, but yeah, otherwise this was just a really, really fun, like surprisingly organizingly chaotic match. Because it wasn't chaotic in a negative way. I was going to say nasty way. That could be taken as a good term here, couldn't it? Yeah. A fun little match.
It was.
I also think appropriately placed in the card.
Yeah, I think so. It kind of gave us a break in a way because it just let the chaos reign while we kind of reset for the final 3 matches. And we
Mm-hmm.
were to my personal favorite match on this show. It's Natsupoi versus Thekla. So let's start out pre-match the video. These two, go into history of these two from when they were in DDM together, and Natsupoi leaving DDM for Cosmic Angels and breaking Thekla's heart. Thekla crying there, and Thekla is just like her idol killer moniker that she's adopted, and going after Natsupoi now, and just being so vicious, and then having her friend Clark Connors come in and spear the living hell out of Natsupoi. I was surprised that he wasn't there, but then I realized, oh wait, they had a house show on this day. He was working a house show on the same day, so he's why he wasn't. I feel like character wise, he should have been there in a way. If he was available, I think he would have been there as just to help sell it. But yeah, I love the story they told leading into this.
I agree.
And
I
then
agree. It was such an intense and just tear-jerking story that just really did tug at your heartstrings because it was a breakdown and dissolution of a friendship essentially. And like arguably like friendship breakups are rougher than relationship breakups because this person is someone that you've trusted more than anything, right? So yeah, take us into it, man.
okay, so let's get into the entrances. Thekla's entrance, that red jacket. When she got in the ring, she looked like she had a trail on it was attached to her arm. And when she stood up and lifted her arms out to the side,
Chains.
the chains holding to this flag, and it pulls it up, opening up a hate flag behind her. I loved it. The look was perfection.
Yes. She was the literal representation of that faction that night, even though the captain was in what was supposed to be, I think, a more important match for them anyway. It turned out to beat Thekla this night, and boy, whew, does she look so good? That gear, so good.
And nothing taken away Natsupoi entrance gear looked great. I love that crown thing she was wearing on her head.
Yeah.
Like the tiara thing, whatever it was. I really liked that. I thought that looked really good. Again, she had great entrance gear too, and they get right in each other's faces before the introductions, and then they go in into each other's face, stare down to start the match, and Thekla just bang headbutt, and Nat is pissed, and they just start fighting. They go right, it's just crazy, and then Nat sends Thekla to the floor, hits a high cross, and that's just the start of this match. Thekla gets a baseball bat at one point with the ref distracted, hits her with it. They start going back and forth. Thekla gets a sharpshooter, and she's like pulling at Nat's hair, and she's in the sharpshooter. These two were just doing everything here. They were just fighting around. Thekla bringing her spiked mask in that she has, and like suplexing Natsupoi under the spiked mask. Just
She was trying to hit her with it at points.
yeah,
So crazy.
yeah. Like Natsupoi goes to the top. Hate attacks her at one point. Cosmic Angels though make the save, which I was like, okay, I like this. Her team's there to save her. Nat misses a splash off the apron to the floor, and Nat gets run into the post. Thekla does end up hitting Natsupoi with the title belt. She gets a crossface in the ring, and she like starts hooking them like fish hooking the mouth. I'm like, oh my god, gross.
Don't you put it in your mouth.
No, don't you put it in somebody else's mouth. Don't you put it in somebody else's mouth. Don't you put it in somebody else's mouth. Don't stick it in someone else's face. Don't stick it in someone else's face.
That's so funny because it just sounds like the song, but the song tripping down the stairs.
That's what I'm trying to do here. Again, these two going back and forth were just it's incredible matches. The super kicks, the strikes, everything was just so good. I'm gonna jump to the end here. Thekla goes to hit. So Natsupoi scores a super kick into a jackknife pin for 2. Then Thekla avoids another kick and hits an 8-6-7 driver. The Rich King finish, double underhook, twisting slam. She hit an 8-6-7 driver. Thekla goes for like her double underhook version of deadfall, but she gets up for 2. She gets a case. The case gets taken away. Natsupoi scores, gets him some like attacking. Natsupoi hits a German, kicks more German. She hits an SOS for 2. She goes to the top, and you can see Hate trying to climb up to attack her, but Cosmic Angels are like holding them back. It was a beautiful visual. Natsupoi hits a Ferial Splash, only gets 2. And this is where she stands up, like Thekla's on her knees. She's like begging her to not hit her. And she's like, and she just hits a head kick, hits that spinning fisherman neck breaker. She goes back to the top, Ferial Splash, goes back up, one more Ferial Splash, and Natsupoi retains the Wonder of Stardom Championship in what was an incredible match.
Yeah. I honestly do wish that Thekla had won this one, though. I felt that they could have perpetuated the story a little bit more, and maybe not right away, but maybe revisit it in the new year, or maybe like Kingdom or something. Yeah, because like since she started the idol killer thing, this is the second kind of loss she's taken in this. That and I think that it's going to start to do exactly what it did to Natsuko Tora. Start to slow that momentum. We can't have that. That connection with NJPW and the War Dogs, especially going into crossover, very, very importante right now. We need to solidify that. So, yeah, I would have liked to see Thekla win this just because I feel it would have made sense with that, but also made sense going in with the crossover and potentially Queendom. But the match itself was just it's so well told. And then with the addition of, as you've mentioned, the teams on the outside adding to the story, it was perfect. Perfect storytelling. Tony Khan, you're affiliated with these guys. That's the kind of storytelling we need. Please and thank you.
So Natsupoi gets a mic after the match. Thekla, no matter who you bring with you, whether it's a man or woman, I will never run away from you. Don't underestimate me. 2 years ago, something I did hurt you. You were sad, right? The other day, Thekla made me feel the same sadness. I was sad too, but maybe it was even worse than what. Like, don't understand this part. I chose Cosmic Angels with strong feelings. Thekla joined Hate with equally strong feelings, right? And Tekla's kind of smiling. She gets the microphone. She goes, "So summary, fuck you," and she spits at her and leaves. As she's leaving, she goes, "Natsupoi, see you later, bye," and leaves. And just it was perfect. So Way then goes into her sign off bullshit. I really don't need. It's all the I'm a champion, yay shit. So yeah,
Bye, boy.
and then the bye boy. So,
Yeah. There. I mean, not much to add to that. I gained so much more just adoration for Thekla in this match because just the way she was able to convey such emotion into everything she did and how Natsupoi was able to reciprocate was just such a perfect storytelling match. Loved it.
Yep. Yeah, incredible match. Semi-main event of the evening is for the IWGP Women's Championship. It's Mayu Iwatani defending against Timeless Toni Storm. Again, this is Timeless Toni Storm, not Toni Storm from 6 years ago, who won the title in just over 2 minutes from Mayu Iwatani because Mayu Iwatani got hurt in their World of Stardom title match. Azumi is on the Japanese booth. I love the little posing you're doing. It's great.
I'm trying to remember what she does.
Azumi on the Japanese booth, and I think this is where Waka joined the English commentary team.
Correct.
Yeah, so I was at the point
and
watching.
It was adorable. It was so heckin' adorable, man.
Well, let us know what she says. Just classic wrestling, working the headlock early on. A lot of good, like we're just working back and forth. It seemed like they had a bit of like it's a weekend rivalry, but both people like nobody's a bad guy in this. Like Mayu
Mm,
did again. Mayu, well, she has been kind of getting a little mean about stuff. She didn't seem to be that here, even though this is somebody who
mm,
should have that for. And Mayu gets this beautiful rocket kick, that running jump, like it's like Daniel Bryan's running knee, but it's a running boot instead. Uh,
mhm.
jump up there with the boot, and then she follows it with a crucifix bomb, and Toni goes rolling out of the ring, and she gets a beautiful tope suicida here. Oh, so good, so good,
Mhm.
good.
So good, like a rocket, like a Bushi rocket.
Yeah, oh, very much so. Again, these two just incredible match. I actually didn't take a lot of notes on this one because I was just enjoying it so much. Um, Maya missing a moonsault, but it comes back with a sling blade and goes up, hits the moonsault, only gets two. The cradle dragon suplex gets reversed into by Toni into a German, falls there with a pile driver. She then hits three, or then she gets got with another pile driver, and then three more pile drivers, or storm. I think it's Storm Zeros. But Mayu kicks out at two. I'm like, holy shit! This woman's neck is like made of steel, I guess. Um, Toni
I'm
gets
assuming she wears the hood to hide the tape.
yeah. So Toni gets lined up in the seat in the corner. She runs for that hip attack, but it is missed. Mayu gets she she's in the corner. She jumps. And then she's in the corner. And as Toni runs in, she pops up onto her shoulders, poison Rana, and Mayu Iwatani is still your IWGP Women's Champion. I really thought Toni was winning this, but again, really good match.
Mhm. Again, like, I think we mentioned it a number of times across a number of different shows. Um, it would have been a smart move, I think, because like Mayu has been defending this belt, but in comparison to the noise that the has been made with the NJPW um
The strong
Strong
belt.
Women's Championship,
Mm-hmm.
it's not been as heavily marketed or kind of put out there as much or as made to seem as important as the Strong Women's Championship. So with Mercedes Moné holding it, I thought it would have been a good idea to try to bring some more attention to the Japanese and like wrestling in particular to have Tony have that belt. That being said, though, it still creates the opportunity. People know who Mayu Iwatani is. So having her defend it continually going forward, I think is a smart idea. Because also they're still trying, I think, in some degree to bank off the fact that she did just have that documentary movie come out there earlier. So I think they're
Runaway.
still
I think
trying
it's
to
called
also,
Runaway Wrestler. I think it's called.
yeah. So yeah, I think it's still a good idea to have it on her for that reason, being that they still try to associate that a little bit more. I think now would be a good time to kind of remind people now that it's been a little quiet for a few months, remind people that did come out and that you can rent it or where you can check it out, etc., etc.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I definitely would have liked to see Tony have won this one. Do want to shout out her outfit. I loved her outfit in this one, the black polka dot, kind of very similar to what she has on in the photograph here, the halter style, kind of pin-up rockabilly, um, I guess vintage bathing suit, one-piece bathing suit. I love that style in general, but to see it in professional wrestling again has just been like a privilege and a treat.
Yeah. So Iwatani gets the mic. She says, "Korku and ho! Oh, I made a mistake," and she broke her trophy that she was presented. She literally broke the. Oh, it
Yeah.
was really funny. He says, "Good evening, everybody. Tony Storm. I was able to get my revenge after 6 years. 6 years ago, I lost the belt in 2 minutes and 30 seconds due to an injury. And today, she places her hand on the. This is where she places her hand on the trophy and it breaks. It was. I just laughed so hard. Uh,
Yeah.
Today, Mayu Iwatani won. I'm glad I was able to compete with Toni Storm for the IWGP Women's Championship today. Thank you, Toni. Everyone in Japan or everyone around the world respects you. I want to fight you again and again. Maybe I won today by chance, but please tell me no, that's not true." And she kind of laughs. She says, I'll aim to be better than you with my own abilities, so I'll be waiting for you anytime, anywhere, tomorrow. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. And then Tony Storm gets the mic. She says, "Good evening. I'm sorry, Mayu-san. You're not a stupid bitch. You're a good bitch." And I could just, uh, you're an
I
icon.
kept laughing at that. I was just like, "Oh my god,
So good. You're an
who says
icon. You're the
that,
best.
Tony?"
You're the best IWGP champion. I respect you. Everyone in the universe thinks so. I'm leaving Japan tomorrow. Where I'm going, I don't know. I don't know. She's going to Mexico. But one thing I do know is that I love you. Thank you, Mayu-san. And then they hug. And she's going to Mexico. She wrestles. Yeah, on October 11th. She's in CMLL in Arena, Mexico in the main event. Yeah,
Fantastica.
fantastica. Yeah, I love the little just comments. So you're not a stupid bitch. You're a good bitch. I was like, oh my god.
I mean, there is a difference.
Oh my god. I laughed
There is
so
a
hard.
difference.
I laughed so hard at that.
I did too.
Oh,
Because I knew exactly what she was referring to. But yeah, it was a funny like of all the things, Tony, I love this character, this side of Tony Storm that we have been seeing in this timeless kind of a persona of hers. It's just been top notch, top tier. Way to go.
yeah, just absolute genius level work here.
Hmm.
So we move on. Main event of the evening. It is Tam Nakano defending her World of Stardom Championship against the rightful champion, Suzu Suzuki. They stare down right face to face. Then there's wrestling early on. Lots of good forearm trading. They do a snapmare train back and forth where they're both just repeatedly snapmaring each other. I really like that.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, they do. They do. Just the kicks from Suzu are just lethal. But even Tam's kicks are pretty gosh darn solid. When she lands those kicks,
Hmm.
I wouldn't want to get kicked by her.
Hmm.
Suzu like half sets up a table on the outside at one point, like just like half sets
Hmm.
up. So it just, I was like, what? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. But we did come into it later on. Tam gets that they're fighting on top. They fight on the outside. Suzu gets a spear in the ring. In the ring, Tam fight. They get up to the top rope. Tam gets that hanging choke on the top rope, and then lets Suzu drop all the way to the floor. Tam hit. She gets up. She slips a bit, but then she hits that high cross to Suzu Suzuki on the floor. They fight around on the floor a bit. There's a German and a crucifix full Nelson. Back in the ring, Suzu catches a running knee on the apron, and she gets a half Nelson, like that half, like her. She hooks her in a half Nelson, and then like spins him out, and just tosses Tam down to the floor through that table set up on like an angle. Looked brutal to take that spot, but it was just like, oh,
Did you hear what ended up happening
what?
about Kurara?
No.
They were saying it on commentary. I guess when the table kind of got yeeted around there, Kurara was a little too close. She got cut in the face. She had to go to the back, get it taken care of because she too close, a little too close.
Yes, just stay away from that shit. So, Suzu tosses Tam back in, and she brings a piece of the table in, and just cracks her with it.
It was so funny.
So good, man.
I cackled.
Oh yeah. Suzu just hitting multiple head kicks, drops Tam, gets a two count. She gets tequila shot, only gets two. Suzuki to the top, but Tam right up on with her. Suzu slips out, comes back up, hits the top rope German, then follows it up with a rolling chaos theory in the ring. But again, only gets two. And I'm like, come on, that's our finish. Suzuki climbs up, but Tam rises up, comes up, and backdrops Suzu Suzuki off the top. They start trading kicks. Tam gets a dragon suplex. There's a bunch of reversals. Suzu hits a poison Rana for two. Tam comes back with her backdrop suplex, then another and another, but only two. She picks her up Violet Screwdriver is hit, but Suzu kicks out of that last possible millisecond. I'm like, oh, thank Christ. And then Tam just picks her up. Twilight Dream, which is that tiger suplex with the bridge. Tam Nakano sadly retains the World of Stardom Championship.
It's so hard because we love Tam so much, but this title reign doesn't make sense. How do you lose? Like, have the worst run in the tournament. Every single match you lose, and you beat the world champion and the person who won every single match in the same tournament that you just lost.
Mm-hmm.
Make it make sense. There's no redemption angle here. There's been no story to it. It's just her suddenly winning. It's not a good look. And then to have her going up against these dominant people who whooped her ass in the tournament, suddenly she's retaining. Why couldn't you do that in the tournament? It doesn't make sense. I enjoyed this match though. It's it's one of those matches where, again, like a few matches in this show where it was like we loved the ride. It just the ending kind of didn't pan out the way it probably should have.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, what is this setting up?
I don't know. Like, I can't even think. What is the Dream Queendom match? Like, what is it? I don't have an idea.
Yeah, because there's not really like who could be. She already had a feud with Tora. She already fought Maika. She already fought Suzu. Are we gonna start to see Shuri start to step up a little bit more? She's been pretty quiet the last couple of years. It's been a while since she's challenged for this belt. Could we see that?
Could be. Could be Suri. Again, I don't know. Is it Hazuki making her ride? Is that the case? Because you're kind of a
I'd like to see Hazuki win that Wonder title first.
me too. Again, that's where I want to see her dominate first.
Mm-hmm.
Does Mina step up? Like where do we go? Does Mina come back for Dream Queendom and say, "Hey, I'm coming at you. I want your title. You took mine last year. I'm coming for yours." Maybe that's
Maybe.
I don't know. That I would personally love to see fuck I would love to see Mina win that red belt. But like
Yeah, but Mina is the Kenta of Stardom.
yeah,
She works so
something and then
hard and then gets nothing from the company she's in, but has championships from other companies that actually see her value.
which check out on the weekend of the it's not this weekend. The weekend of the 19th and 20th on both on Rev Pro. You can watch on the 19th. You can watch the Rev Pro show on their on demand channel, which Mina Shirakawa and multiple other New Japan people will be on that Rev Pro show. So check that out. She will be defending the title there. Then on the 20th, also on Rev Pro on demand, if you want to watch it in English, it will. That's where Royal Quest 4 is being broadcast in English. It'll be in Japanese on New Japan World. So check. So if you're looking for some Mina love, check that out.
Yes.
And she's on both shows. And Azumi's on both shows, I think, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You are correct.
So post match, Tam says, "Oh, you damn gal, you're seriously crazy. You're hateful, insane, ridiculously strong, brimming with talent, young, a genius. You have a bright future. So you're not the kind of woman who's going to let her chance get ruined by the woman she hates the most." I thought that was Risa Sarah. I'll always accept your challenge, no matter how many times. So come and challenge me again. Suzu then says, "I lost, I'll admit it. But your slap damaged my eardrum, so I couldn't hear anything you just said." Okay, interesting. I didn't hear a word, but I can imagine that you must have said with that hateful look on your face. um, Damn, I'm looking forward to chapter 2. And then Suzu Suzuki puts out her hand to Tam, and Tam goes to shake, and then she's just like, Her off and walks away. I loved it. I loved it so much. And then Tam got her bike back, did her whole man,
No, you gotta
Tam.
tell the rest of the reaction from Tam because she
Oh,
acted like a child. She was just like, oh, But then when the camera panned back to her, you saw her flip off Suzuki back.
she did. She did. She
She
did.
just hid it. She censored herself.
Yeah. But she was like,
So I like, yeah, she did that, and then she saw the camera and,
yeah.
I didn't do that. I'm still cute.
And then we get into the Tam whole I'm pretty, I'm cute bullshit speech, and it ends with follow me on the Tam road that sparkles in the universe. Believe in Tam, thank you. And that's it. And yeah.
You're turning on Tam.
It's exactly the same speech from her, and that's what at the end of every match they do when they do a speech. I don't need to
It's true. They have their little signature thing that they say.
yeah, I don't need to read it every single time. But yeah.
Andre's getting spicy.
Incredible show, though. Incredible show.
2/3 spicy.
2/3 of the spice. The other third is just sweet.
Whatever helps. Whatever helps. Take us into the outro, sir.
Well, we are going to get out of here. We've been here for an hour and 21 minutes already, so we're going to get out of here because we have to go record something else. So I want to thank all y'all
Yeah.
for joining us here. We thank you so very much for all the great support that you have given us here at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. Also over on A Plus Productions. Thank you so very much. If you want to hear us in audio form, aplusproductions.com. Go over there. We have 3 feeds: the sports feed, the entertainment feed, and the wrestling feed, where you can find me and Mel all talking all these Japanese wrestling stuff that we talk about. Check that out over there. If you want to see us in video form, you can watch us on Mobile Wrestling Talk backbreaker video. Thank you so very much. Please, if you're watching on those, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below. Don't forget to share us out to your friends, family, and all the wonderful, wonderful people that you know in this world. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted every time we drop a new video.
Get your mask. Ding dong.
You can find me on the X at that Canada Guy, TikTok, Instagram, and Threads at that Canada. You can find me on Facebook at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk, and our YouTube page, youtube.com, so at Andre Melball Wrestling Talk. As I said, you can check us over A Plus Productions on Facebook. Join the Facebook page. Join in with all the great chat with all the great fans over there, and A Plus Productions.com to get your links to our podcast. Check out twitch.tv/Our Local Establishment and youtube.com/at Our Local Establishment to check me out doing Marvel Talk, which I was on this past Wednesday, even though I wasn't supposed to be there that day because we had plans, but plans fell through. So I joined in the show. There's 4 of us. There's 4 of us. We had the Doc from BR Sports. We had Doc from BR Sports. We had Bobby Money Munson. We have myself and Old Ed talking Agatha on episode 5. I will not be part of next week's episode because I will be at Bowling for Soup, which Ed is very jealous about. And I'm going to keep rubbing it in his face. Screw Ed. I love you, buddy. I love you, buddy. So you can check me out. You can check out Marvel Talk. You can check out the Me-less Marvel Talk next week, featuring Ed and whoever he finds to help him make the show. Try to make the show better without me, but it's not the same without me. Simple as that.
Where's your bestie necklace? There it is. There you go.
I have it. Don't worry. He didn't wear his. He didn't wear his on the last show, but I did. You can also check us out over at, as I said before, youtube.com/@backbreaker video, where you can find all the wrestling content Mike has over there. You can find him live over at twitch.tv/MikeTheRef every Wednesday, Saturday, and pay-per-view Saturday or Sunday, depending on which day the AEW puts a pay-per-view on. Watching all the AEW watch-alongs. He'll be there this weekend on Saturday night for Wrestle Dream live on his Twitch channel. So go over there, hang out with him as he watches Wrestle Dream, and you can chat with him as you watch along with it. I will be doing that after I get home from what I'm doing that afternoon. And you can also find all the replays of that over at youtube.com/@backbreaker_gaming, where he has all this great gaming content from his Twitch channel that features him, Mr. PJC, this little guy right here, this wee little dude, Rick Jules, right over here. And therefore, weekend guest,
Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Kayla J. Not JJ Spade, Kayla J.
I'm just. How do you make a K with your fingers?
What the?
I'm trying to make a K to go with the J. I don't know how. Let's try to make a K.
That is evident.
I can make an E, but I can't make a K.
Goodness, we love Kayla J.
Melball, where can they find you?
If you're wanting to follow a Melball, you can follow her on the X thing at Collins Melball. You can follow her on everything else. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, and Blue Sky, and Melball Collins. You can also find me on our local establishment's programming, Japanese Wrestling Update with this guy every Friday. 8 p.m. Mountain Time. Whew, unless it's not. And I will let you know on social media. Tomorrow will be a pre-recorded episode, as we are literally going to be recording it. Well, I guess today. Today is going to be a pre-recorded episode because we're going to be attending the RCW Thanksgiving Thunder Show, where we're going to see the love of my life, Mitch Clark. Can't see my heart. There you go. Love of my life, Mitch Clark, taking on Pride.
And the Rads versus JJ Spade. And the returning Dean Richter.
Hello.
Sorry. We did it.
And fisting. Yeah.
Touching tips and raising fists.
And raising fists. Hey! Thank you for our catchphrase for the night. Anywho. We're going to be attending RCW. So, as we mentioned, Japanese Wrestling Update will be pre-recorded, airing at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. You can also find me on Astro Pizarro's YouTube channel, where we do our show, Ladies Wrestling Showcase. She's live. That's a blessing in this crazy, crazy, kooky
And
weather.
she has power, which a lot of
And
people
she has
avoid
power.
So pray for those people.
Very, very lucky. So, we will hopefully be having an episode coming out very, very soon. Stay tuned to our social to find out when that is coming out. Andre. Right. I forgot. If you wanted to watch Stardom, there will be a link in the description box below. It is stardom-world.com. It is 999 yen and approximately what? Why are you shaking your head? It's Shadow Shun Spears. I still have that shirt. I should wear it more often. Anywho, it is actually closer to 10 Canadian now with the exchange. It's still a great price to watch some amazing wrestling. You can not only watch the show that we talked about today, you can go back into the archive, which Walker Stewart told us is going to soon have some English commentary. So make sure you keep checking back to see when that's going on. Otherwise, you can listen to the excitable nature of their Japanese commentary crew. Believe me, it is a treat to listen to. Andre, my trusted friend and colleague, do you have anything else to say to the beautiful people?
I just want to say thank y'all. I appreciate y'all all so very, very much.
That's it?
I already did the sign-off thing.
Okay.
Before.
And that being said, I am your Melball, or there is a try. We will see you next time. Mwah.